Victor noticed it during his Tuesday sweep, a habit he'd kept for 11 years, checking every vent, every light fixture, every corner of the house where something small could hide unnoticed. This time, tucked into the smoke detector above Emma's bedroom door, he found what didn't belong, a pinhole lens, no bigger than a shirt button, wired into a device that had never been part of the original fixture. He didn't touch it. He photographed it first, from 3 angles, then carefully unscrewed the housing and lifted it free, wrapping it in cloth before anyone else came upstairs. He brought it straight to the study. Don Romano turned it over once in his hand, expression unreadable, then set it on the desk between them like it was something contagious. How long has it been there? Batteries old. My guess, 3 weeks. Maybe 4. In my daughter's room. In your daughter's room. The silence that followed wasn't calm. It was the kind of silence Victor had learned to recognize over the years, the pause before Don Romano decided exactly how much of himself to let show. Who installed it? I don't know yet. No forced entry, nothing broken. Whoever did this walked through this house like they belonged here. Don Romano's jaw tightened. Someone inside. Or someone who got inside once and didn't need to come back. They went through the house room by room after that, in near total silence, checking every device, every outlet, every gift that had entered the home in the last 2 months. They found nothing else, which somehow made it worse. 1 camera, 1 room, 1 very specific target. Sophia found them in the hallway outside Emma's room, Victor holding a small evidence bag, her husband's face carved from stone. What's going on? Don Romano didn't answer immediately, which told her everything she needed to know before he said a word. Someone put a camera in Emma's room. Sophia's hand went to her mouth. She didn't scream, didn't cry, or just stood very still, the way people do when the floor tilts slightly beneath them and they're trying not to fall. How long? Weeks, Victor said, gently. We're checking everything now. It's the only one we've found. Weeks. Sophia repeated, and something in her voice cracked at the edges. Someone has been watching my daughter sleep for weeks, and none of us knew. Don Romano stepped closer, though he didn't reach for her, not yet. We're going to find who did this. That's not enough anymore. Her voice rose, sharp and unfamiliar. It was never enough, and now it's in her room. Emma appeared at the top of the stairs before either of them could say more, drawn by voices that weren't trying hard enough to stay quiet. What's wrong? Maria was there instantly, appearing from nowhere the way she always did in moments like this, steering Emma gently back down the hall. Nothing's wrong, sweetheart. Let's go see if Lucas wants to play a game. Emma glanced back once, uncertain, before letting herself be led away. Once she was gone, Don Romano turned to Victor. I want to know everyone who's had access to this house in the last 2 months. Contractors, delivery staff, anyone who came through that gate. Already pulling the logs. And I want eyes on every camera feed we have from the last month, every entrance, every hallway. Someone got in. Someone will be on that footage. Victor nodded and left without another word, already moving. Sophia sat down slowly on the top step, the fight draining out of her all at once, replaced by something quieter and more exhausted. Don Romano sat beside her. I built this house to keep them safe, he said. I told myself walls and gates and men outside were enough. They're not. No. They're not. She looked at him, eyes red but dry. I need you to actually find who did this. Not silence them and move on the way you do with everything else. I need to know it's over, not just quiet. I understand. Do you? Because Emma sleeps 8 feet from where that thing was hidden, Marco. 8 feet. It was rare that she used his first name like that, stripped of every title the world outside gave him. It landed harder than any threat ever could. I will find them, he said, quiet and absolute. And they will never get close to this house again. By midnight, Victor had a name, a technician who'd come through 3 weeks earlier to service the security panel. In the East Wing, hired through a legitimate contractor, background checked, credentials clean on paper. Too clean, Victor said. Nobody's record was ever that clean. Don Romano listened to the report without interrupting, jaw tight, hand still. Find out who sent him. Already working on it. And Victor, Don Romano's voice dropped lower. Whoever's behind this wanted to see something. Wanted leverage, or wanted to send a message. I want to know which before we move. Victor nodded once and disappeared back into the dark of the house. Upstairs, Sophia sat on the edge of Emma's bed long after the little girl had fallen asleep, watching her daughter's chest rise and fall, the new smoke detector, swept clean, rechecked twice, humming faintly overhead. She didn't leave the room that night. She sat in the chair by the window instead, the same chair Maria had once sat in during another sleepless night in this house, and didn't close her eyes until the sun came up. Somewhere across the city, in an apartment with the blinds drawn, someone reviewed grainy footage from 3 weeks of recordings, footage that had captured far more than a little girl sleeping, footage that had captured every late-night visitor, every hushed conversation carried in from the hallway, everything Don Romano had never meant for outside eyes to see. The camera might have been found. But whatever it had already sent out into the world hadn't been.